All right. When I was a kid, there was this book that I had heard about that was so scary. I was afraid to read it. My little school chums had read it. Brothers and sisters, my cousins, they all told me, if you read this book, it will scare you to death. I was terrified of it. The name of this book was Go Ask Alice. Here's why it was so scary. This book was a diary that somebody found and published. And it told the real story of this young girl's descent into a quagmire of drug addiction. So what? People get addicted to drugs all the time. Here's what you don't understand. The person in this diary was a regular person, meaning white, like you or me. A white person on drugs, but I'm white. So I was terrified to read this book until a couple years ago. I picked it up in an airport, and it is the phoniest of balonies you could possibly imagine. So clearly written by the writing staff of Dragnet. Some afternoon they had a late tea time. They're like, hey, you want to write a phony diary, scare kids off drugs? So, in this book, you can see where they don't quite have a handle on the youth culture like they thought they did. There's this section where she's talking about how she tried LSD. And so she writes, last night I tried acid for the first time. It was pretty good, but I can't wait to try pot. Get the order right, at least. LSD is not the gateway to pot. Wow, last night was amazing when I had that conversation with the Earth, but what's it like to have a slightly dry mouth? Oh, the limits of mankind's imaginations. My favorite phony part was when our made-up heroine is at home with her parents. She's been through it all, man. She's been through the ringer with drugs. I think at this point she had been resorting to prostitution to get money for pot, I guess. And so she's all strung out, and she's trying to kick. And so she writes in her diary, well, tomorrow's the day. My parents are sending me to a mental institution, a loony bin, a freak wharf. I don't think those two words have ever appeared in the same paragraph together, much less side by side, to describe a single thing. A freak wharf. You have never heard anybody say that, ever, unless you have read that book. Freak wharf. That's when you can practically see them, sitting in front of the old Underwood, their snap brim hats and their short sleeve dress shirts. Come on, we gotta really get them with their own words. What do they say? What do they say? What's the stuff they say? Come on, think, fellas, think. I don't know, Crazy Cove. No, we can't just make them up. It's gotta be stuff they say.
Pretty sure I heard one of them say Freak Wharf one time.
Yeah! Hey, Bill's got the right idea. Freak Wharf. Get it with their own words. Given the choice, I would go to the Freak Wharf every single time. Because you get to meet carnival folk, and you're by the ocean. I think it sounds delightful. Madam, what makes your beard so lustrous? Is it the salt air? That is a typical conversation you would overhear at the Freak Wharf. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for me. Thank you very much for coming out. Thanks, you guys.
Paul F. Tompkins, ladies and gentlemen.